It's crazy because often we really get caught up in believing so many bogus things that are either taught to us in beliefs or in the ways that we come up in our families and homes. And it's so sad that we see so many kids they lose their lives to this, you know. Like I can remember the craziest things now. And it's crazy how time just keeps things coming back to you. And it's the worst things ever, you know. And this is the thing that you go through in trauma, slavery. And I understand that people have hatred. I also could not be prepared to even deal with racial hatred on that level where you're pushed and forced through the justice system and your children are targeted. You see, because in all of the hatred and all of the things that's done that is in racism, you have black people who are helping them, you know. And I remember when I first was locked up and I was incarcerated, I had it was a little bit after I had turned 20 years old. And at this time, I still was a kid and wild, you know, but I was incarcerated because I had been incarcerated since 19. I had just turned 19. So, in saying that, I remember how wild and crazy I was when I was locked up, but it hit me when I got to prison and I seen all of those kids who were teenagers, 15, 16, 17, 18. And they had these extensive sentences, anywhere from 15 to 55 years. Some had life. And it's crazy. It's crazy how much we give for nothing. You understand, all based on a mentality, a mindset, a belief system. The thing that makes it even worse is when this is happening to people based on what the government is doing. Okay? So, and all the craziness and the rage and the anger. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of things to say, and I wanted to make sure I said them because I'm telling you, there's no way in hell you can hold, nobody is that strong. No one can hold that much in. That's just too much. And no, there's no person who can endure like that and stand on just themselves and not be the worst thing on earth ever. So, in saying that, I thank God for many things, but in all the things that I ever been through and all of my sufferings and my ability to endure, I also thank God for giving me strength and common sense and a good mind. Because the one thing that I do is pray. And at no time when I pray do I hear God ever telling me to not fight. And everything in me, when I want to give up, there's always God guiding and directing, holding me up. I'm tired. You understand? I am fed up and tired. And let me tell you something about dysfunction. See, dysfunction has ability to want to control. There's always a controller, okay? And these people that want to be controllers, they're abusive. And everyone play a role. There's a scapegoat, there's a golden child, there's a tormentor, there's an abuser. And then all of these things click together and they become codependent. They depend on each other to survive. And this becomes a norm and it grows and it grows and it grows. I feel for my mother and I understand a lot of the things that she said because believe me, I had to mourn through going through this. See, people tend to want to hurt you believing that because you love yourself and understand and know yourself. You have a foundation for yourself that these things are against them. This does not mean that you do not make mistakes in life. But see, these stones that we cast stones living in glass houses. You trying to pick a speck out somebody else's eye with a big plaque in yours, meaning you see nothing else. You see other people, and these are the things that you see and really feel about yourself. But in our delusions that we're doing something to someone else to harm them, to bring them down, we tell ourselves these lies and we convince ourselves to believe the things that we do are right. You understand? So when I say what I say, no matter how harsh it is, I speak from experience of what I know, not only knowledge and things that I have learned. I thank God for all wisdom, and I know that there is so much on this earth that I do not know. But what I do know is that in dysfunction, it is fatal. And this is something that we are born and bred in. They said, way back when we were slaves, that we would always be in a state of regression. When I read the words of the slaves, and when some of the slaves was free, they couldn't see a reason to be free. Why would I want to be free? I can stay here with Master. Master take care of me. Everybody is not strong. And those of us who have strength, power, and control, who is able to have authority in other people's lives. If our character is bad, then we are bad. Period. No one is exempt from anything in life. So they may sit on the wayside and say, oh, she's explaining to somebody. Oh, she's talking to somebody. Oh, she needs somebody to understand. No, I do not. I do not take anything in life for granted. But I know that I cannot play any more games, not with my life, nor my children's. I have lost enough. And what I will not do, and what I do not believe in, is running from anything. I will not. Do you understand me? Because see, as a mother, I see the suffering of children. And as a child, I know the suffering of children. You can't even imagine what it's like. It's a year later. Last year around this time, every Prince William agency, from their DSS to CPS, public school services, and everybody else played games, family services, housing. See, now this is the crazy thing about us. You got people who have been in no kind of downfalls in life at all. Like many of you who are against me, who look down on me, who shunned me, who was upset about me, out there killing myself to bring myself back up because I fell as a child, not as a grown up, as a child. 19 years old, you're still a teenager, you're a child. You don't become like I was at 19 years old overnight. That's years of conditioning. But I do not hold anyone responsible but myself. But I understand why I was the way that I was and I thought the way that I did. Because, see, I take nothing for granted in life. Because see, when I fall, although on the outside it looks like nothing may be bothering me, and people may only see anger, I am a person who care and who face myself every day in the mirror. And if I don't like what I see, I got a problem with that. You understand? So this is not about a thing, oh no, I never did nothing wrong in life. No, 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 no. No, this is not what we're talking about here. You ask for too much and you give too little. You see yourself much bigger based on things that really have no value at all to nobody but people like you who have no true foundation, because the things you have do not determine who you are. If that is what determines who you are, then you are nothing at all. They have us believe that if we sell our soul for anything, it's better than having nothing when we have nothing after selling our soul. Now, see, you got to think about some things when you have to face yourself, because, see, you have to look at things. You have to ask yourself some questions about who you are and where you're trying to go in life and where was you going with that. And then you got to look at the impact directly and indirectly to yourself, to your family, to others and their families. And you got to make a decision to care or not to care. Now, when you look at all of that and you sit back and you think about it, now you say, well, damn, that's true. I can see that. But you got to remember something. You don't get to do one thing at a time in life. No, 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 no. You don't get to sit down and take a break and just do treatment. No, 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 no. You got to do that. You got to do school. You got to do everything else. You got to learn how to communicate. You got to learn how to function in other dysfunctional environments. And you got to do better. You always got people judging you, looking down on you. And you remember from a child that they said you was never going to be anything. And you remember all the stupid things that you did and all the time that you wasted. And you feel all the hurt that you that been through. But the person you hate the most is yourself, not someone else. Man, it's a hard reality to face. Because they think if we have on Nikes or we have on Jordans or we have on the latest Gucci or Armani, people you don't know or know anything about, but long as somebody else is rocking it, then it's in. Then you're somebody. What type of car you got? Who got the loudest system? How you talk like this? What kind of swag you got? Who can finesse the best? How many drugs you do? Who can hold the best? Who can suck the best? All of these things. All of these things. You start to look at life and you really wonder, what am I living for? Do I have a purpose in life? Will I even ever matter? When I'm gone from here, what will I leave behind? Because they say, think about your kids. But you can't think about your kids if you can't think about yourself. You can't love anybody or care about anybody until you care about yourself. The one thing that I know for a fact, you can't lie to me about or try to twist it around or say it's not so. That if you don't love yourself, that is not something you can give to somebody else. So I'm saying all the things that I'm saying. They meant for us to be in a state of regression. This is why we are uneducated. This is why we are ignorant. This is why we fall to dysfunctional norms, believing that treatment is not for us. That's a white people thing. We're conditioned to think that way. Because in reality is, if you had education, you would know that if you learned about a disorder, something that you face, you will be able to understand what you're going through, which would help you to do better as a person. with whatever you're dealing with. No, that won't fix it. First step is knowing, accepting there is a problem. But if you know nothing but dysfunction, abuse, and you hate yourself, what do you give but destruction? So we will always, always be in a state of regression. I look at my son and I wonder, will he face the same torment? Because I already see the trauma within 6 years of his life from the time that he was born, targeted from sexual to physical with mental abuse extensively. So how do you see the justice? How do you see the good in the world? Who can you trust? But then see, you crazy. Because see, you didn't just lay down and you didn't just accept this because you didn't let somebody hold you up, which is called a stronghold. Because see, while I was told that I was living in the past, but I seemed to move on and catch up and went past many of the people who never felt like I did or went through half of the things that I've been through. And you sit on the sideline and you try to justify the things that you do for your wrongs, not wanting to be a man and woman and say that you fell short. There is the problem. See, it's easy to pretend when you got a crew and you running around and you think that you flashy and you doing something. You thinking that you saying all the right things and you've put on this real, real good image. Because see, I'm real laid back and I like to be in the background, but I got a real crazy personality and I don't mind showing it. See, I don't really have a thing for fronting for people. It's a waste of time. God knows I talk to him all the time. I spent a lot of time crying and praying. See, I have no facades. So I see the perpetual fans and the things that they say and the way that they feel about how I feel about me. We all set our own standards and values in life. So how am I to blame for the things that you've done? I do not introduce anyone to this lifestyle. I'm born and bred into this, like I said so many times. So I know the pain and the hurt. How could I ever even think to want to help somebody down a road of darkness and pain, something that I pray and I cry to God to help me out of? But I'm lost and I'm stuck and it's my comfort zone and it's the only thing that I know. No matter how smart or easy things come or how well I learn, you do what you know until you know better. So you hate me for doing better, wanting better, seeing better. You judge me, falsely convict me, crucify me, publicly profile me, do a hate crime on me, use my child to say that I molested her and went to prison for it. You use federal informants and criminals to target my life and my children. And then they try to hide behind a false law because I'm upset. So when we black people get mad, then we're just angry black people. We're supposed to be polite and speak real nice and cry, but never show the anger and the rage that's really there because it's all legit. And the injustice that we face and the system that's built on racial hatred. You may not be understanding where I'm coming from. Some of y'all may not even feel it. It really don't make a difference because in the end, I plan to give my life for this. They either can take this noose up off my neck or let me free. There will be no more tracking, beating, crushing me under. I am not in a state of regression. I am not a threat or harm to anyone. You put me in the line of fire to target me by people who you know are criminals. And you expect me to pretend like none of this happened and wake up one day and go on with my life and do all the things that I was already doing, working 10 times harder, seeing way, way less than any of these people getting it easier, faster, and blowing it on nothing. I'm not understanding where you coming from. And you talking about this is America, a place of justice, and that we are just angry and we have nothing to be mad about, and there is no slavery, and that we don't do anything in life, and that we are lazy. I'm not getting where you're coming from. Because looking at these people, that makes no sense. Not if you're comparing them to me. So where you come from with this? Where do we go with this? But I'm tired of playing games, and I want justice. And I want the government to take this noose off my neck. You falsely convict me of a crime, and then you try to sentence me to a life sentence. You used your system to target me to the public and come for my life using criminals. My own grandmother, who knows I would not lie or joke about anything or tell her anything plain of the sorts, came to court for her son and said that no, nothing was going on. And when she left the courtroom, he said to her,
New message is received from +1 202 840
that
9913.
he said after she walked out the courtroom that he wanted me dead. I, the one person who bent over backwards to help him, my mother, and everybody else. You forget when you struggled and you didn't have the money and the things that you had. You forgot all of that. And you felt like because I could do things or I did things for you that I had it to do for you. But I sacrificed for you something you would not do for me. Not saying that that's not what my parents ever did. But no one else ever did that for me. No one else ever laid down their life besides my parents and my grandmother. And believe me, my parents fell short a whole lot throughout my life. But you're not going to play games with me. You can't play games with me about things about my mother. Our mother died begging, begging. She cried. You have no clue of her suffering while you play games with people who care nothing about her because they hate the fact that she did not like them. And they see that very thing in me. Because one thing about mom, once she says somebody not right, they're not right. And I pay attention. And what I don't do is, I don't go against my family, but let me tell you how the federal government played with you and what they did. When they locked me up and arrested me for Demetrius Perkins, Tania Carroll Majors, and Leonte Carroll, Andre Hines, Christopher Stanley, Will Garcia, all the rest of them, Derek Hill, yes, you too, all the rest of them. When they locked me up, they pulled everyone's background. And after they went through everybody's background, they want to talk to you to see what you're going to tell the truth about and lie about. So the fact that you're so damn ignorant and dumb to think that I would be able to keep your background from the federal government, all they had to do was tell you your background. And then you turned around and made me out to be the worst person in the world to them people. This is how ignorant you are. And auntie, in all respect, I can understand why my mother did not like you. In all regards, she was so right. You are a horrible, horrible, horrible sister and person. And to be so beautiful, that is terrible. It really is. And it's a sad, sad shame. You sit there and tell these people, oh no, they're not stupid. They are the stupidest people on the earth. Why would you think that you could keep something that's out in the open from the federal government? Why would you think that? Tell me in 2018 and you're not stupid. See, when I go off, all of this goes through me. This right here, I'm telling you, from my feet to I'm telling you, it feel like I'm telling you the devil probably doing a happy dance, got the fire sticks burning. Cause I'm telling you, man, you have no clue of my rage and anger when it comes to what? That's all they had to do. And you told these people to keep me and all of this stuff based on a whole bunch of bullshit I had nothing to do with. I'm dodging bullets, but I never even thought, seriously, to look and check Andre's background. I never thought to. Seriously, did not. Then the way y'all moving the stuff you do, I'm like, damn. Mm. But then when I look, because see, before we even get to that, Christopher Stanley, well, I know you playing victim to the probably the 10th to the 10th power. You don't know nothing. Your brother spoke to you. He told you exactly what I said. He told you exactly what he said. So again, when I went to your house, what your brother said was all of them had called him worrying about the charge coming up again and them being charged. Because you forgot. And all of your little delusions. That the same very people the same victim is running around with today, y'all are the same very people that was there then. None of your names came up. You got off the hook legally. You understand? You was able to do whatever you had to do to get Pooh and Shandy to say whatever you needed them to say. Everything worked out in your favor. I was the only one in the dark because I didn't even have no attorney. I'm not lying. So when I say the things that I say about me fighting, I'm not joking about that. I'm done playing these games. I don't know what the hell wrong with these people in America, what they do. I don't even get y'all. I'm for real. Y'all want somebody to stand there and be all polite and politically right. Man, fuck that. I'm dying by the second. I ain't sleeping and I'm going through little hell behind something because of somebody's feelings. I don't control that shit called self-esteem. Did anybody listen to Cat Williams beside me? I know the man funny, but he was telling the truth. People make fun of stuff, but they telling the truth. It's your self-esteem. And the one thing I learned to do, no matter how hard it is not let myself put myself beneath other people based on what they think. You understand? As I said again, you don't see the things people go through. Because see, when you are a good person, you have faith and you believe, people go through shit you never see. You may not be a good person, but you may know somebody that know God. And believe me, the worst shit people go through, nobody probably sees. And I think about that when I'm upset with somebody about something I didn't think about then as a child. Because you know what? I wasn't allowed to have emotions. Everything I did meant anger. You understand? So, in saying that, we were meant to be in a state of regression. And the system is working hard to keep us in a state of regression. And you can choose to be in a state of regression. I am not forcing you out of that. But what the hell you can't do is push me down with you. That is what you cannot do. And if I got to give my damn life, then so be it. But what I will not do is suffer for nobody else's bullshit. No more. I have been the scapegoat all of my damn life for somebody. Everything somebody has done has been my fault. Everybody's feelings has been my fault. That's not my damn fault. Those are your feelings. So again, for any of you who's wrapped up in my personal life, if Mr. Andre Hines didn't have 30,000 billion personalities and lied so damn much that he started believing the lies that he tells, because that's what compulsive liars do. Because you got to tell a lie 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 to tell a lie, tell a lie to tell a lie. So, in saying that, if he wasn't that type of person and he really told you the truth, you would know. I'm not who the hell you think I am when you want to play games. Because if I was, all of you would be dead. No joke. Because the shit you do is that sick. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's little petty stuff. You do things that to people have nothing to do with what you got going on. And to Miss Cottrell, I'm not cold-hearted, sweetheart. I apologize for anything you ever been through in life. But honey, wherever you stuck at, or whatever you going through, you are not going through it because of me. If you are a victim, you are making yourself a victim. No matter what the hell I could have done, I have paid 10 times over. Because, sweetheart, please, you think these people are not trying to open this case back up for a reason? They spent years trying to get evidence on the case, trying to force me into talking about a case and going through a case that they already sentenced me for. Does that sound like something legit to you? And then, when that didn't work, they're going to falsify evidence using my child. Does that sound like something legit to you? But see, I'm crazy, right? I didn't go to prison 3 times. That didn't happen. Because I could tell you each one of those cases. And none of it makes sense. I'm not no cold, uncaring, cruel person. Nor would I ever play games with anyone's life. But y'all all the way had me mixed up and twisted with all of this crap. When you see me, when they released me from the feds and you was there on my birthday with those same very people, you realize I'm not into any of that. I don't move that way. I don't entertain no drama. I'm like that all the time because it's a choice and a decision and a thinking pattern that you decide to believe in and have that I don't. So, if you think because I'm willing to go as far as I am, it's because I'm crazy, I don't care about nothing in life, then you're totally stupid. Because the one damn thing that I do care about is my life and my children's life. Because see, what my life does, it gives hope to other lives. Because see, I love kids. And the kids that I surround myself with, I bring up, I teach things. I help them to become better people based on the fact that I've been through a lot. So I relate to them. You understand? So I don't use what I have at no time in my life, even as a child, as a teenager. I raised all of my cousins, my siblings, kids in the neighborhood. I've never abused that to take advantage of any children because I love children. I don't introduce children to the street life. I do not coach people into no street life. You come in this life. Don't go look for you. You understand? By no means, at this age, can I play games with my life and my sons. You have no clue of what this is doing to my son and what he is going through. And these people send me a letter talking about they're investigating. What would you be investigating? My son has SSI. Now, I'm not going to sit here and discuss the things that he go through. But he's had this going on since he was 3 years old. And as he get older, I understand the trauma and what's going on with him. This is federal. Nothing changes because we came here. You decided to hold because you wanted to push us under. And you have done that. And you probably think, because I say racist white people, that is exactly what the hell you are. Not being rude. Nobody needs to sugarcoat nothing. Behind the scenes, it's always racist white people. And you always got Uncle Tom niggas. That's why I call it crackerjack shit. I'm not being funny. It's what it is. It's goofy. It don't make no sense. It does not help anybody. So I don't give a damn about none of that. But what I do give a damn about is that you use these laws to harm and hurt. Then you turn around and use the same laws to lock us up and take our lives. And because these dumbass people decide to do the wrong thing, they think it's okay. And whoever want to go along with them don't even matter. My grandmother said that I was going to reach millions of lives, so she must have seen it when she was talking to God when I'm dead. Because she damn sure couldn't have meant why I'm living here. Not how she's helped them out to do all the bullshit that they've done. Just on the sake of her other sons being mad about her other son, my father, who done the wrong thing. But when I called and reached out, nobody wanted to help and do nothing for this man or do no better. So what does that say about you? You can be uninvolved not to help somebody, but then when there's a consequence for their action, you can be involved to lie for them. No games and no joke. Man, when enough is enough, it is enough. And I mean to get things in order, not leave my son hanging or being uncaring. But I'm serious. I'm tired and I'm done. I'm not going to sit around and wait 2, 3 more years like I got 20 more years to play games. No. No, 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 no. Hell no. It makes no sense. So I hope, Shania, Andre, Tania Demetrius, Leonte, Timothy, and all the rest of the damn peanut gallery. This is something that you decided to do. And all of these goofy ass people went along. And you think about this. If this was anybody else, and y'all told me you was thinking about doing some shit like this, I would have never went along with it. That tells you how sick you are. But if somebody don't got no respect for your family, they don't have no respect for you. So if they sleep around all through your family and disrespect your family, and do all kinds of trifling shit with your family that you don't do with this, they don't have respect for you. Pooh, so yes, you are stupid. Your aunt's a liar. As long as it's not her kids, it's okay. Anything goes for her sister's kids. Telling you a reality. So what I say, I mean it. I mean every damn bit of it. I don't care if somebody else thinks this is mean or being harsh. Man, what y'all did, Aisha, Taisha, Carol, went in the court and told the people I smoked weed. I wasn't smoking no weed. What are you talking about? All the shit that y'all do. That put the kids at risk. That was, man, what? And all of this to harm Shania. And then for Shania trying to cover up for Andre, she's going to come out and she's going to tell them that I molested her and went to prison. And then y'all going to have goofy ass DL Andrew Armstrong use the fucking registry to say I was a predator. They ain't going to say, oh, because I told somebody that he messed with kids. You do mess with kids, homie. I didn't tell somebody, I told you. Because I'm not a fake person. I told you. I read things. I'm smart. I could pay attention. You noticed that. You noticed just from the man talking to me, I knew that he liked you other than as a friend, like a guy, like a guy. I knew he liked you like a guy that's gay. You understand? I understood that whole situation. So when it came out, I was clearly aware. And I watched how you rocked and how you moved and how you responded. Because some things you can't hide. And that's what I do. I observe and read people well. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what. You understand? You should really try sometime multitasking. And maybe if you go through something that somebody else been through that you think is easy, maybe you won't think it's easy. And you can kill it with that privilege shit, because I ain't never been privileged. There's times in my life that I've lived good and I've had, but I've never been privileged. So don't play with me. You haven't given me anything. Anything that the government do, they should be doing 100 times more, considering the fact that they're the one who put me in this position from the beginning, which is totally illegal. But no, I shouldn't think like that or feel like that, because they target my life. But if I did this same very thing, this is domestic terrorists. You understand? But then you create loopholes so that it's not the same thing when you do it. You got to call it something different. No, that's what the hell it is. And that's a problem. You can bully your way through everybody else, but I don't like bullies. As I said before, I'm an abused child. Can't nobody in my family say that I'm lying about that. Physically and mentally. Abused. No one. So yeah, I can be real cold and cut. Man, you got to do something real serious, because I'm not a petty person. I don't just run on my feelings. Most of the time, my feelings run more easy for other people than myself. So when you do something to somebody that I care about and I like, that I flip out. More than for myself. Because I tend to burst things off. That's why I have a very low-key, cool demeanor. It's a threat, physical threat. I usually brush things off, neutralize situations. You have to do too much in this situation. You've done too much. And yes, they expect us to be in a state of regression. And if everything would have went wrong and I was the same ignorant ass kids and a bunch of people would have died and innocent people would have lost their lives, they would have all said it was black on black crime and painted some fairy tale ass picture for the public, and they would have went on about their business and none of us niggas would have mattered. And if you don't see something wrong with that, you are lost. Because that is the reality. And the black people that's helping, they can't either. And there's a problem with that. You can't tell me by keeping the same cycle going and doing 10 times worse, 100 times worse, that you can ever accuse me of. That you deserve to be trying to crucify somebody. Not near one. Not from the criminals to the relatives or the government. Because if this is what you do with government resources, this is why you cannot help people. But when I say that, I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm offending somebody. But see, I'm a person who helped myself. Because if you can't keep trying to have me go through trauma for long, extensive periods of time, this is why these people walk around out of their mind. Because I'm not going to look over my shoulder. I mean, y'all might listen to rap music for a different reason. I listen to music that I can relate to, that I totally know that is legit. If they saying it, even if somebody else saying it, whoever gave them the words was legit. I don't do no running from nobody. It's not what I do. Not going to start. Not yesterday, not today, not no day. Because this is a problem. It's a problem that's been going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I can give two shits about y'all feelings at this point. That's anybody from the streets. I don't care who you are, who you kin to, who you know, who you related to, who you bang with, who you move with, none of that. Straight up. No games. No cut cards. I'm not gonna play games for the government and pretend. This is a situation, again, that your government, American government, put me in to target me with criminals. I have nothing to do with not with any legal stuff, no. Because anything legally that I've been in trouble for, I'm done with. As far as any probation or any ties with any of that, I'm done with. Besides the registry, which they told me I had to stay on for 15 years, which I've done. Then after this happened, your little hate crime and all of that, and I come out about all the stuff that they do, and I yell at their little state trooper because see, Trooper Bess, although she threatened me, I could give two shits about that. Believe me, everything you do come back. I don't have to be here to see it. I don't care how you white folks that are racist move. That's not my. It's not my thing. Cause listen, anything that you can do to anybody else can be done to you. And if the moment you think differently, this whole world gonna become a whole different world. And that's a fact. I may not be here to see it. I'm always front line, so I'll probably go on the first wave of people. Because if y'all think that we about to do this any longer than this, I'm not. And I'm sorry if you're offended, if I'm not politically correct. But you do not see or know my suffering. And I am not going to beg for my rights. Government will give them to me. And they will take this noose off of my neck. Or they will have to kill me because I will be standing in their face 24/7. I'm not moving. I'm on pause until you do so. Because I'm done playing games. The joke is on you. And that's every last one of y'all who did not take your life more seriously, who thought that you could play with mine, or who did something and thought there was an easy way out. Listen, if somebody convinced you or fooled you into something, that's your damn problem, not mine. Because see, since I'm a type of person who has never done anything against you whatsoever, if you're a relative of mine, no matter how far down the line. You already know you should have came and hollered at me about anything. I would have told you exactly what it was. I didn't learn the things I learned to be against you. I learned the things I learned so that I can help us to do better as a family. But you know what? It's like crabs in a barrel. You can't help everybody because, like they said from the beginning, we were meant to be in a state of regression. I really want you to get that.